the alchemical garden of the soul, transforming shadow into light. Have you ever felt prey to conflicting internal forces, as if one part of you yearned for light and elevation, while another pushed you towards shadows, fear, and self-sabotage? Have you ever longed for true transformation, an authentic inner alchemy capable of transmuting your deepest weaknesses into strengths, your past traumas into profound wisdom, and your darkest fears into unstoppable courage? Welcome to this space of research and discovery, the crossroads where ancient hermetic wisdom merges with depth psychology, offering you the tools to become true masters of your soul. Today, we will embark on a fascinating yet extremely intimate and at times arduous journey into the alchemical garden of the soul. We're not talking about secret formulas for transmuting lead into material gold, but a far more precious and revolutionary inner alchemy, the ability to confront, recognize, and ultimately transform our shadow, everything about ourselves that we tend to deny, hide, or judge, to finally manifest our most authentic light and our fullest fulfillment. Thoth, the great celestial scribe, was not only the god of knowledge, but also the patron of the magical arts and hermetic transformation, the guardian of the secrets of transmutation and spiritual regeneration. His ancestral wisdom guides us on this path, showing us that true growth lies not in eliminating the most inconvenient parts of ourselves, but in integrating them, giving them meaning and a purpose within our wholeness. Prepare to delve deep within, unearth hidden gems from the depths of your psyche, and reforge your essence. Your awakening has already begun the moment you dared to look beyond the superficial glow toward the more complex and illuminating truth of your being. Alchemy, in its deepest and most symbolic sense, has always been much more than a simple attempt to create physical gold in a medieval laboratory. It represents an esoteric and spiritual discipline, a sacred path of inner transformation aimed at the purification and elevation of the soul. Its principles, nigredo, putrefaction, initial chaos, darkness; albedo, purification; white, the beginning of light; citrinitas, yellow, illumination, maturation; and rubedo, red, the conjunction of opposites, realization, the philosopher's stone, are powerful metaphors for the psychological and spiritual processes each of us undergoes on the path to growth. The concept of shadow, brilliantly explored by Carl Jung, is precisely our psychological nigredo, the sum of all those aspects of our personality that our conscience rejects, that society condemns, or that we ourselves judge negatively, and which are therefore relegated to the unconscious. Fears, shame, repressed desires, dormant anger, unresolved traumas. All these elements don't disappear, but continue to operate behind the scenes, influencing our behavior, our dreams, our relationships, and often our illnesses, manifesting themselves in patterns of self-sabotage or projections onto others. Thoth, as guardian of secrets and expert in the depths of the soul, teaches us that we cannot ignore the shadow without paying a very high price, because what is denied on the outside tends to re-emerge with even greater force from within. True awakening begins right here, in this act of courage, turning and facing what we have always tried to hide, because it is precisely in those dark places that the key to our wholeness and authenticity lies. But how does one actually undertake this alchemical journey within oneself? What are the stages of this inner transmutation, and how can we transform the lead of our heaviest shadows into the precious gold of awareness and wisdom? The answer lies in the ancient art of radical acceptance, profound understanding, and an unwavering will to integrate every fragment of our being. If this journey into the depths of hidden truths and modern illusions is already captivating you and you sense a resonance, I ask you for a small gesture that means the world to us, an act of connection. Leave an immediate like on this video. This simple click is a precious signal to us, telling us that we're touching the right chords in your soul, that our work resonates deeply with your desire for authentic knowledge. And if you'd like privileged access to even more exclusive content, dedicated Q&A sessions that allow you to interact directly, and in-depth materials that will guide you even further on your path to awareness and transformation, seriously consider subscribing to the channel. Your subscription isn't just financial support, but a true investment in your personal growth and in the future of a growing community that fervently seeks the truth beyond appearances. I promise you that every resource, every video, every insight will be a decisive step towards your personal and inevitable enlightenment. The alchemical process of the soul begins with the nigredo, darkening, a phase of inevitable confrontation with the shadow. This can manifest as a period of crisis, inner unease, profound dissatisfaction, or the breaking of old patterns and illusions. It is the moment when what we have so forcefully repressed begins to knock on the door of our consciousness, often through physical symptoms, disturbing dreams, recurring toxic relationships, or even external events that force us to confront our deepest weaknesses. This phase is uncomfortable, painful, and can leave us feeling lost or confused. It's the alchemical equivalent of putrefaction, where old matter dissolves to make room for something new. Many try to escape this phase, seeking external distractions or blaming others, but Thoth, with his cosmic healing wisdom, invites us to remain, to observe our shadows honestly and without judgment. It is precisely in this apparent chaos, in this descent into the psychic underworld, that the potential for rebirth lies. Recognizing the anger we don't allow ourselves, the sadness we've swallowed, the fear that paralyzes us, is the first act of alchemy, bringing awareness into the darkness. From the nigredo emerges the albedo, whiteness or purification. Once the shadow is recognized, the task is not to fight or eliminate it, but to understand, accept, and integrate it. This phase involves a process of purification and clarification, where we begin to distinguish the true nature of the shadow from conditioning or projections. It involves making peace with our past, forgiving ourselves and others, releasing old grudges and limiting beliefs. The albedo is the moment when consciousness begins to shine through the darkness like a crescent moon in the night. We begin to see that our shadows are not intrinsically evil, but often wounded parts of ourselves, defense mechanisms developed to protect us, or unexpressed potential. For example, repressed anger can hide a deep need for justice or self-affirmation. Excessive shyness can conceal profound sensitivity or a desire for authentic connection. This is the moment when, guided by the clarity of Thoth, we learn to discern the shadow's original function and transform its distorted energy into a constructive force. Purification is not elimination, but refinement and reorientation. Next, we enter citrinitas, yellowness or enlightenment, a stage of true maturation and awareness. After purifying and accepting the shadows, we begin to see them not as enemies, but as integrated allies. Citrinitas is the moment when the gold of awareness begins to manifest, bringing with it wisdom, intuition, and a new perspective on life. A sense of inner balance and integrity develops. The polarities, light, shadow, masculine, feminine, reason, intuition, begin to integrate into a greater harmony. Thoth, as the god of synthesis and profound understanding, helps us weave together the threads of our diverse experiences and parts of ourselves, creating a richer and more meaningful tapestry. At this stage, the lessons of our shadows become precious guides. We understand that we would not be the person we are without those experiences, and that our wounds, once healed and understood, can become our greatest sources of empathy and strength. Enlightenment is not the absence of darkness, but the ability to bring light into every corner of one's being without fear. To illuminate this path, let us consider a fable. In the heart of an ancient kingdom, there was a secret garden known only to the king and his trusted alchemist, Kale. Not ordinary flowers grew in that garden, but plants with dark, thorny leaves that bore bitter fruits called shadow fruits. The king complained, "These fruits are poisonous, Kyle. We must eradicate them." But Kyle, a disciple of the ancient teachings of Thoth, replied, "Your Majesty, true power lies not in denying the shadow, but in understanding it." Kyle began his work. He did not eradicate the fruits, but carefully harvested them, crushed them, fermented them, and distilled them. It was a long and smelly process, the nigredo, but Kale worked with dedication. Slowly, the black liquid cleared, albedo, becoming a crystalline essence. Finally, adding special herbs and the light of the full moon, he transformed the essence into a brilliant golden nectar, citrinitas, with a sweet and intoxicating scent. "What is it?" asked the king, fascinated. "It is the elixir of wholeness, Your Majesty," replied Kale. "From the bitterest fruits, once understood and transformed, a medicine was born that strengthens the heart and enlightens the mind. The poison has not disappeared, but has been purified and redirected. True wisdom does not eliminate evil, but transforms it into strength." From that day on, the king honored the shadow fruits of his garden, understanding that true wealth lies not only in the light, but also in the courageous exploration and transformation of darkness. Finally, the culmination of the process is rubedo, redness or realization, the conjunction of opposites, the creation of the inner philosopher's stone. This phase represents the full integration of shadow and light, masculine and feminine, reason and intuition, into a complete and authentic human being. A profound inner harmony is achieved, a sense of completeness and personal power. Rubedo is not the end of the journey, but the attainment of a state of mastery and profound awareness that allows us to face life's challenges with resilience, wisdom, and compassion. We become conscious co-creators of our own reality, capable of radiating our authentic light into the world. Thoth, in his form as the ibis, the bird that emerges from the primordial waters, the chaos of the nigredo, to bring knowledge, perfectly symbolizes this rebirth and realization. Awakening is not a single moment, but a continuous process of soul alchemy, a journey that leads us to understand that every part of us, even the darkest, holds a divine potential for transformation, and that by accepting and integrating it, we can access a higher level of existence, one imbued with authenticity, peace, and creative power. This is the profound invitation that spiritual alchemy extends to us, to become the chemists of our soul, the gardeners of our essence, to cultivate lasting well-being and constant enlightenment. We have barely scratched the surface of an ocean of knowledge, the legacy the ancient deities have left us, not as silent statues, but as vibrant keys to unlock the secrets of our soul. Your journey into this space has only just begun, but the awareness you have gained today is already a giant step. Remember, the figures of gods and goddesses are not just distant myths, but powerful mirrors that reflect your own potential and your most intimate challenges. Now you have the tools to begin deciphering their language, to recognize the Aphrodite who longs for beauty, the Artemis who seeks freedom, the Ares who fights for his ideals, or the Thoth who longs for knowledge, all dancing within you. This is the true power of awakening, not waiting for the truth to be revealed to you, but actively seeking it, listening to the voices of the archetypes resonating within your spirit. I wish you a profound and continuous awakening, an ever deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. If this message has awakened something in you, show your appreciation with a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future insights. And now, leave your mark on Thoth's path. In the comments below, write a word or phrase that represents an aspect of your shadow you're learning to integrate, or an experience of personal transformation. Whether it's courage, patience, acceptance, resilience, or something else, your voice is important to us. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey of discovery, a hug of light and knowledge. Until the next awakening.